number asking for 433, page number 10, 11, yeah, 11. Okay.
In the book, it's page 11. In the handout, it's number 433.
Okay. So this is among explanations from this morning. It is said the title is Instructions on Cultivating Love, Compassion, on the Practice of Sutra and the Mantra. So, to join together the Sutra and the Vajrayana mantra system. So, having bowed at the feet of the sublime Guru, the Pamutuba, the Dharma Lord, the protector of the three worlds, I will write a little about what the precious King of Dharma taught, precious King, the Pamutuba, what he taught to his followers that Jesus brings together and share with us. First, we cultivate our mind to attain complete enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. And as we have discussed this morning, the mind is the single point. Whatever we do, depending to the mental state, it brings the result of peace, happiness, or suffering. So therefore, we cultivate the mind to free from samsara and for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then with that mindset, the precious Guru said, there are three types of love. Love that focuses on sentient beings, one. Love that focuses on phenomena in the cause, two. And non-referential love is the ultimate loving kindness. The first type of the love, which focuses on sentient beings, looking at the sentient beings in the six realms, human beings and non-human beings, in relation to your father, mother, or anyone who has been kind to you. So look at your life, who's you feel who's most close to you, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friend, whatever, or your family, then kind to you, has been kind to you. It does not arise in relation to other conditions. That kind of love in this moment will not rise from other things, only to those conditions. Therefore, by recalling the kindness of someone who has been very kind to you, a feeling of concern, tenderness for that person arises in you. That is what is called love. Who has been in your life very kind to you. Just for example, like your mother, mostly, even bird, look at the bird mother, she takes care when the eggs is laid. with such a tenderness. She just until the egg hatches, she takes care. After the eggs is hatched, then the chicken comes out. Then she feeds the chicken as long as it needs, with everything that she will sacrifice without any conditions. That's called unconditional. She risks her life. So that's just an example. In our life, if you have somebody, it's this very natural. It's not a culture thing. It's not as it depends on anything. It's just there. So look at that. We as a human being who has precious human life, we can recall the kindness that you have received from such individual. Then when you want to repay, first you recognize the person who's most kind to you, your mother, your father, your brother, sister, whoever, recognize that individual. Then recollect the kindness that you have received, not just for 1 day or 2 days, day after day, month after month, year after year after years. And recollect that. There you feel I have to repay, the kindness that I received from. So that kind of this kind of all the process is called feeling of love. As you desire peace and happiness. When I was facing difficulties, how much I received. My well-being, that how much support I have received. So now same thing, for their well-being, I have to repay. So that kind of feeling. It's very simple, but it's universal. And it is the basis of all the peace and happiness. We just meditate on that. It just softens your heart. It just melts all the negative thoughts there. It just disappears. When these negative thoughts disappear, and there's a peace. So we don't have to go to any special place. So this is a peaceful place. And this is such, But wherever you are, and that place, when you have this kind of feeling, understanding, then you just have that peace. And then you meditate on that. See. And you see this, all the others, your whole family, the people in that village, town, they all have been one or another time, like this, my brother, my sister, or my father, my mother. They all have done, like said the bird, When I was born as a bird, that mother, the father took care of me. Even insect, who knows nothing, but when the insect, when her offspring is there, she knows nothing, but still she risks her life to take care of her offspring. You see, look at this and just meditate. This is the way how to bring the world peace. First, your world is peaceful with these factors. Then when we share this information to others, it becomes the contagious peace to share all to others. So in that state, there's no negative thoughts, no delusions. Yes, rise in relation to your father, mother, or anyone who has been kind to you. It does not arise in relation to other conditions. Therefore, by recalling the kindness of someone who has been very kind to you, feeling of concern, tenderness for that person arises in you. That is called the loving kindness. It's so peaceful. And there's uncontrived peace. When you have that love feelings there, and the peace is, it's just the flavor of that love. The happiness is the flavor of that love. Having identified this, one should repeatedly generate as much of an attitude of concern, tenderness for that person as possible. Then you just meditate on this, continue, repeat, get used to it. It's not just become emotional, but it's just become the part of your mind. Your mind just maintain that state, relax that. And then you experience, as I mentioned, peace. And the people around also feel the peace. This as mentioned, is a contagious, practice. It just goes round. And then, as this morning mentioned, you feel light, opened. So that practice is said, cultivate this feeling with great persistence for about a week, not just one moment, not just one day, for like a week or 10 days or 15 days. Get used to it. And the feeling of concern, tenderness will reach its full measure. It kind of means your whole being, part of your mind. Then it's called the full experience of loving kindness. Then by remembering the kindness of your actual mothers, meditation on her in the same way for 15 days. When intense concern, tenderness for her has arisen and compassion increases, then it's because these whom you want peace, happiness, they are going under suffering. They are creating the cause of suffering. So because of that, your compassion just manifests. That person should be free from suffering. Because I want that person all the peace and happiness. And then when they are going through their suffering, your concern is so much. That person should be free from suffering, should be free from the cause of suffering. So you just relax, meditate on this, you see. increases. Deliberately engage in this meditation, focusing on one or two other beings. Then you can expand their thoughts. Not only that person, then next to that person, next to that person whom you know. I want all this have peace and happiness. I want all this free from suffering. This is the real practice, as this morning mentioned. Just bring into your heart, not just something saying prayers. I wish you well, not just that. Just feel, bring into your heart and meditate, practice. See, then you see your whole being is just a peace. No negative thoughts exist there. So this we replace by our confusion, and all our confusion, negative thoughts are replaced by this power, by this love and compassion. So in a relative way, how to purify our negative thoughts. In a relative way, how to enhance our mind, more peace, harmony. So that when intense concern, tenderness for her has risen and compassion increases, deliberately engage in this meditation and focusing on one or two other beings, gradually expand this focus on many beings. It is it's 15 days I haven't read this one. Mother on her in the same way for 15 days here session. Oh. Okay. So these are easy to. Next, meditate for 15 days here also. 15 days like compassion, focusing only on those in this Jambu continent, means in this world. Then you expand it here, as mentioned, expand your mind. First your family, then the village, then the town, then city, then state, then whole country, then expand all the rest other countries, all sentient beings. Meditate on this. This way, step by step, increases your focus. The whole world. Continue to cultivate this love and compassion. Expand your focus to the entire, see, truly concerns the three one ourselves called world. Oh. This our planet is one world. And that kind of 1,000 is called true. And then that you count from 1 to 1,000 is 3. So that makes millions of the world expand to all the sentient beings. So you see, It's not just a small mind. This way how to expand our most profound mind. Mhm. Gradually cultivate this love for all sentient beings in the 10 directions. East, south, west, north, and then between east, south, northeast, like that, and up and down 10 calm, 10 directions. By meditating in this way on all sentient beings without exception, you will reach the full extent of this love. When your love becomes immeasurable, cultivate compassion by remembering the suffering of the 6 classes of wandering beings, the 6 realms of the sentient beings. When the love this way, if we practice this way, you got the message, bring it into your heart, and then you feel that practice meditation, and compassion will rise by itself because sentient beings are suffering. Sentient beings are under the cause of suffering, the confusions, the negative karma. So this, you see, it draws attention of the sentient beings. Then you naturally, effortlessly benefit sentient beings. So when Milarepa, one day he just came out from his cave, look at the sky. It's so clear, blue, fresh. So then he sat on the boulder and focused his love to all the sentient beings like this way, meditating. Then after some time, he heard a dog is barking. That time, she was wondering who could be in this such an isolated place. Nobody's in this area. She was contemplating on this. Then he thought must be some maybe hunter is coming to hunt wild animal. Of course, soon after that, a deer was running. The deer was running so fast, with full of fear. Water, sweat, and dropping from each hair of the deer. And because of his Milarepa's practice of the love, it's such a contagious love that Milarepa has, the deer was totally just without any fear, directly coming to Milarepa for protection. And that time Milarepa said, your dear body or the horn, thorn-headed. You have such a fear the dog may catch any time. But at the same time, you have a hope to free from the dog. And you are running in the samsara with hope and fear. You are within in the suffering. If you want to receive teachings, I can give you Mahamudra teaching. Because Milarepa this 10th Bhumi Bodhisattva can communicate with the language of the animals. So the deer just came towards Milarepa and rest on the right side, just lay down with so peace. And then Milarepa was thinking, now the dog must be coming to chase this deer. Of course, soon after that, a dog, a big dog, like lightning, so fast, very long trunk, just looking where's the deer. And then the dog also came towards Milarepa. And Milarepa said to the dog, you, a dog party with the wolf face, with such a fear to lose the deer, and with such a hope to catch the deer, with hope and fear, you are wandering in the samsara. You cannot satisfy with this. If you want to receive teachings, I'll give you the instructions of meditation. And the dog was totally lose all his anguish, suffering, fear, totally relaxed, and sat next to Milarepa on the left. Then Milarepa was meditating, contemplating. Now must be the hunter must coming. And soon after, of course, the hunter was just looking where his dogs and deers. As soon as he saw the dog and the deer next to Milarepa, he was furious. This must be a magician who tricks my dog and deer. And he started shooting arrow to Milarepa. And Milarepa said, wait a minute. You will have time to shoot me the arrow, but you listen to this, my song. So Milarepa said, a human body and demon face. Up until now, you are just hunting, craving others' life for your own peace, happiness. How many you have taken life in this life of others for your happiness? How much you have satisfied? And you have never satisfied cravings other life. Buddha said, precious human life is very rare, but like you, it's not rare. You have human life. You can do better than this. As you want peace and happiness, everyone wants peace and happiness. You can't continue this way. And then he was so touched by Milarepa's teaching. And he searched what Milarepa was eating, went to Milarepa's cave, what food he was eating, and he couldn't find anything. And he was wondering, how you live here? What do you eat? Milarepa said, I eat nettles, these things, simple things, I can survive. Then he was more remorse. Milarepa, without harming others' life, fully satisfied, sitting in this high mountain where there's nothing, And I, in my whole life, just hunting others' life. Still, I'm not satisfied. No. And he felt so remorsed and touched by Milarepa's teaching. He said, I want to follow you. Please give me instructions. Milarepa said, okay, if you want to stay, I can teach you. But then he said, first I want to go back. I have a family to take care of them. And after a week, I will come back. Milarepa said, everything is impermanent. You never know what will happen. Right now, you have motivation to follow. Stay here. No need to go back. And he said, please, I want to go back and give some advice. I have to give some instructions, and I'll return. Milarepa said, of course, it's your choice if you want to go, but everything is impermanent. If you want to do practice, just stay. No. Then, without much kind of choice, even though he wanted to go so badly, but since Milarepa said that everything is impermanent, he thought, who knows, I may change my mind. And he stayed behind, received the teachings. As you know, he became one of the very famous disciples of Milarepa, Tirareba, called the Reba, the cotton cloth of the hunter. So like that, you see, Dharma changes the life of those confused, those who are suffering. So Dharma is medicine to all sentient beings. This is just one story that, So we meditate, practice this. As this morning I mentioned, just reinforces this practice. This is the practice for the modern time, when it's a difficult time. So there are so many people who are not so good, who create a lot of cause of suffering. So this is the time we have to have the Dharma practice. When everything goes well, no problem, we don't need Dharma. Yes, So there's Buddha came, there's a history, they say, Buddha came in such a time when there's a suffering. Because when there's as I mentioned, when there's everything's going well, no problem, no wars, no famines, no sickness, no quarreling. Even Buddha comes and teach, you have to practice Dharma to free from suffering. And those individuals say, we have no suffering. We should practice Dharma, And when there's so much suffering, pain, then if Buddha comes and practice Dharma, they have no place to practice Dharma. Like when you have such a strong headache, as we're ordinary, as we're ordinary, we have such a strong headache. If I teach, practice some, sit, meditate, so I can't, There's no place to meditate. I need a painkiller. You see? So this is the right time we need the Dharma. There's a problem, we know that. But at the same time, we have a wisdom space to reflect on these things and meditate. So we have to reflect ourselves, meditate, share to others. Don't be too selfish. I got to practice now, I'm okay. But there's so many people around who don't have this opportunity and they're suffering so much. And if you share these things, and they will get it and get so much benefit. This is how to help others. Is compassion of the six realms of wandering beings, beginning with your own mother. Start with your own mother. At this point, this will arise without great difficulties. Means when you have strong practice of love to yourself, and the compassion will come without much effort, without much difficulty. First, we practice loving kindness. Like as mentioned, like the bird, how the bird take care of the eggs, chicken, out of love. Then when the chicken is going through a hard time, the bird, there's no difficulties of compassion to protect from that danger of life. When this compassion is reached, then think, may all sentient beings, my mother, who are limitless space, have happiness and free from suffering. And may they attain perfect Buddhahood. This is called love, compassion, and bodhicitta. So as you know, this morning we went through briefly, as now he explained same thing. When you have such kind of loving kindness here, explain more. Loving kindness of sentient beings, loving kindness of phenomena, then non-referential loving kindness. So non-referential loving kindness means everything's illusory nature. Within this illusory nature, everyone desire for peace and happiness. It's like a reflection of the moon in the ocean or in a lake. Everything's a reflection. Reflection of your mind, reflection of our karma. So it's called non-referential object. Meditating that on this. And you want all the peace, happiness, in loving kindness practice. What are the cause for peace and happiness? It's the 10 virtue. The loving kindness itself. And bodhicitta, they are the practice for happiness, for peace. So you meditate on this. See. All this, suffering in the world is exist because of this other way. All these negative thoughts, mental afflictions. Was just filled with the anger, hatred, attachment, pride, arrogance, jealousy, greed, all this one there. There's no peace. They just keep creating the suffering. Creating suffering for themselves, first of all. And then it goes round. No. And then we fight each other. When you fight each other, it goes wrong. It's worse. Then, so in the Shantideva's text mentioned, Simje Mission Nangwashins says, the unruly beings in the samsara is infinite. Everyone in the samsara is unruly mind. You know, unruly mind? What does that mean?
Uncontrolled.
Uncontrolled by the mental afflictions. It's like this space, filled with space. So how much you can control them? Same mission. Instead, if you just purify your mind as this loving kindness practice, if you practice this way in your mind, see, then all this unruly mind, those who's called enemies, becomes your parent, your father, your mother, your brother, your sisters. You have love for them. You have compassion to all these who are suffering, who have cause of suffering, you see. The example is this. So if you walk in the field, full of thorns, big, huge field, full of thorns, and your foot is barefoot, can you walk on those thorn field? Or if you try to cover such is huge, can you find such piece of cloth? You cannot. Instead, you just cover your feet with a piece of leather. And then you walk, the same as covering all. It's a very good analogy, See.
We covering our mind in that example?
Yeah, you cover your mind with love and compassion. Okay. Then, no matter how grossly, the people's their mind is, you have nothing but love and compassion. And you have no fear. You see, this one important. You have no fear. Instead, you have such a strong compassion. Because they said, you see they're suffering. Now, how much they're expressing their suffering. And you see that. And you have such a strong compassion. Even they see they abuse you. Say, oh, you are such a bad person, and you have nothing but only compassion. And you have no fears. And you can say, what I can do for you. That's why he said in the ayat there was 400 stanza. First is giving example. Mentally ill person, and as a doctor who are expert about that, how to help. And that person, the patient who's mentally so ill and very aggressively attacking the doctor, and doctor knows the problem of that person. Doctor will help. So doctor will think how I can help that person. No, he is suffering. Doctor will not fight for that person. Doctor will not try to destroy that person. Instead, how should I help that person? No. Same thing said. So Buddha said, the enemies of the sentient being is this mental afflictions, mental confusion. Not the person who has that mental affliction. The one who has this mental affliction, they are patient. They are suffering. So what our responsibility is try to get rid of these mental afflictions. No, it's so precious, That's our responsibility to practice Dharma. That's why Dharma is so indispensable. This Dharma is taught for that. Yes. Oh,
I have little questions, please.
yes.
When when we have faith in the Dharma, many of us here are really been practitioners for a really long time, and we like to know how to help others.
Yeah.
Is there, is there outward ways we can do it? Is there like pictures we can show a sick animal, or mantras we can say to a sick person? Or say we see someone, a friend of ours, that's really who's struggling but doesn't know any Dharma. How do we like proselytize to them to try to tell them how wonderful the Dharma is?
Yes. So that you have to try now.
Right.
Yeah, you have to find out the avenue how to help.
I have to have a book to read while I say it though, because
No, you just look at that your friend or that individual. What kind of that person can help? We cannot say, yes, we should do this way, There are so many ways. See, that's called, yes, it's called skillful means. You don't have to say, this is what Buddha said. Some people may not have an opportunity to listen Buddha. Buddha says, oh, no, I don't want that. Please just stay away, But you can show the method. This is the way, see. Oh, you chant the mantra. No mantra, It's strange. No. The chanting the mantra, that process looks like really strange, chanting mantra, There's some problem is there. They're chanting so much mantra. No, then they see you have some problem, Maybe they think you need some problem help, You you are chanting mantra, this or this, They say, can I help you,
Is that called skillful means?
Yeah. That's why you need skillful means to communicate. Out of compassion, wisdom, how I can handle. There's a story, if I tell you, I told here this story many times, When Buddha was there, and there was a man in the country, a ruthless man, very strong, young, something like invincible, and he waits in that area, and anybody goes through that, he just never let go. He just captured them. He robs, and he maybe needed he can kill, So that's how he lives his life. And one day it happened. Buddha went through that. And he was very amused. Today I met such a strange person wearing special clothes, But I will now take care of this person, So then he just approached to Buddha. He introduced himself to Buddha. So I live this area and what I do, because he has no fear. He's so strong. And he has very sharp knife. That time there was no gun, So then he said, no, you give me what you have, otherwise I'll kill you. And Buddha said, I don't have anything, Only the bone, And then he said, then I will kill you. Buddha said, okay. But before you kill me, I have 2 questions to ask you. And they said, what's that question? Just tell me. And there's a tree. Buddha said, can you bring down all the leaves of the tree? And he has just such sharp knife, all this, he just brought down the leaves, showing his strength, all this. And Buddha said, I'm very impressed your strength. Yes, Buddha said, you have really physical power. He said, yes, I have. And then he said, what's your second question? Then Buddha said, can you put back all the leaves? And then, of course, he has no power, And he was a little confused. Why he's asking about these things? Very strange. What's going on, And also he was a little embarrassed himself. Now he has no strength to put back, So Buddha said, why are you asking me these kind of strange questions, Buddha said, you told me you have every ability to do anything, So as you have the power to bring down all the leaves of the tree, I thought you have a power to put back. So he was a little embarrassed. And he forgot to kill Buddha, He was thinking, what should I do, Now, how to express, So in middle of that, then Buddha took advantage. You see, as you have power to bring down all the leaves of the tree, but you don't have power to put back. So in your life, as you mentioned, you took care of many lives, killed, robbed, and those are so easy to do that. But how many you have helped other people? When you are going through these things, robbing, killing, how many people are requesting you not to do these things? Can you remember? So then he reflect all these people just lament. Please don't take this away. Don't kill me, crying, whatever they could do, and without any relentlessly just taking life, all this. Then he felt very remorse. And finally, he just let down his ego. He said, I understand your message. I've been not doing well. No, I cause a lot of suffering in people's life. No. He was very remorseful. He said, looks like you have a great compassion. You have great wisdom. No. You help me to understand about these things. Can I follow you to learn more of your message? See? Then Buddha said, if you like, you can follow. You see. Otherwise, at that time, when the man said, I will kill you, so Buddha can fly in the sky. Say, you kill me, But didn't do that. Just in the human way, how to handle the situation skillfully, so that we all can do. We all can help. See, just this example. In Milaraba's life as well, there are a lot of stories like that. That's the wisdom of Buddha. It's the compassion of the Buddha, how to solve the problems, how to solve our mental problems. So we need this message, this wisdom everywhere. Buddha was not going there chanting mantra to their man,
Tell me again, I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
In this story,
Yes. Oh, no, I didn't understand your last sentence.
Or with the mantras.
I said Buddha was not going there with him, Even though Buddha taught all this mantra, millions of mantras Buddha taught, but he didn't go that person chanting mantra, oh man, you better behave, You see, yeah, exactly, Yeah, then people think you are something's going on in your mind, So that's why you have to show your skill, your wisdom, your compassion, your courage. That's the teaching. Bodhicitta means courage. Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva. Changchup Sampa. Changchup is enlightened mind of the courage.
Skillful means is meeting someone where they are.
Yeah. You have
You
to.
met him where he was.
No, you have to know what you can communicate to those individuals. Every individual is different. One doesn't go to everything, everybody.
Concise fits all, no.
Yeah. So that's why these things, reflect this book, just read each sentence, you meditate, you reflect, you see. And just infuse your mind with this wisdom. Reflect to yourself. No. Then you appreciate yourself, how much peace you get, you see. You have no fear, first of in the first place. Your fears are disappeared, you see. And you have such a courage, and you because your mind is totally opened. Does that make sense? This is what we need in this modern time nowadays. So when people have a pain, suffering, confusion, when people have fear, so you can communicate. You know? Yeah, while I'm talking, we just also have to put in our heart, meditate, reflect on, so that you can continue in your daily life. When you get up in the morning, as soon as you get up, just reflect on this. Just say, may everyone have all the peace and happiness. May everybody free from suffering. And may everybody achieve enlightenment. For your own practice, do this. When you go to bed, do this. Before you go to bed, may everybody have all the peace and happiness. May they all achieve enlightenment. Meditate. It heals your mind. It heals your body. When you're so stressed, do this practice. All the stress you have just disappears. And this is the mantra. Mantras talked just this, When you get the translation of the mantras, the mantra says, in the meaning of the mantra there. Say love, compassion. Tak umani beme ho, As umani beme. Love and compassion. Free from fear. Same meanings there. Any discussions we need?
I never knew, we see these prayers to Lord Jigten Summan almost every time we
Yeah,
pray.
yeah,
And it says, continually I think of no one but you, compassionate one, grant your blessing.
yes,
But I realized I I've read about his life, but I didn't know much about him at all.
that's right.
And I'm just saying that prayer,
Yes,
just to say it.
that's very good. Now, when you go through these teachings, it will make you more sense.
Right.
So these are this very short message, but how powerful they are.
like the kind of person that he was
That's right.
on the earth, and how the kind of realizations that he
Exactly.
attained while he was a living human being.
Yes,
It's just amazing to be.
it is, That's I have also very high respect because his message is so at the point. Short message, but so profound. This is a message given from his heart, not just from the intellectual. I believe this, they believe this, and this, they make this problem, they are confused. Not like that. You just give the short instruction. Pit is called pit instruction. So we should appreciate that, rejoice that, and cherish these practices. The difference, those who are giving intellectually, kind of very nicely expressed, but this is teaching from the heart with experience, has much more blessing, much more benefit we get. So that's how Buddha benefited sentient beings. He was not going around to say, this is what I believe, you should believe this, but he's going around how to help the beings. When there's some problem, as mentioned, that individual, that man, he went to a lot of, he's going through a lot of confusion. He's creating a lot of suffering. So Buddha was there helping him to get rid of all the cause of suffering. And then there was a story, this also I told many times. A young mother, she gave a birth of a child, and she has such a love to her child and attachment at the together. And the child died, and she was suffering so much. She can't let go her child dead. She was thinking there must be some way to bring back the life. Then she going around all the different teachers, what she heard of. There is such a great teacher, there's such a great teacher, there's such a... She went to all, couldn't help. She couldn't get the help. And then finally she heard of Buddha, and she went to Buddha, and she expressed her suffering. And Buddha saw, the child is died, what you can do. But Buddha saw the mother needs help. She's going through so much suffering. She was not sleeping for days, couldn't eat for days. Totally cut her emotion, her mind with her child. So Buddha was thinking, how I can help this mother? So then Buddha told her, you get a handful of grain from the village where there's nobody died. From that house, you bring a grain. Maybe we can do something. And she was so excited. She was thinking there must be a house, there's nobody died. She just immediately she went around. And in that village, she couldn't find any house that nobody died. Everybody she talked to expressed their agony, suffering they're going through of their relatives, families, father, child died, At the end of the day, she says, oh, it's not just only me. Everybody misses their family. Oh, no. She felt so light. Then she went to Buddha. She said, I couldn't find any house that nobody died. Buddha said, you see, you know now, it's not your only child. We have no choice. We have no choice not to let go. We have to make choice to let go. But you understand, all, and not only you, everybody go through this suffering. And then she said, yes, I understand. And then Buddha gave a lot of teachings of the impermanence and how to release attachment. And then from that day, she could eat, she could sleep. You see, so Buddha's wisdom, compassion, the skillful means, give this opportunity and people get free from suffering. That's the Buddha's message. Not how to show miracle powers, flying in the sky, Some is okay to expressing their qualities, but the main point, how we sentient beings can free from suffering, we need this wisdom, skill, compassion. So this morning I mentioned the three training of the morality, moral ethics, the training of the meditative concentration, and training of the special insight. Not only this, we need this three training when you're driving. When you drive car, you need these three, isn't it? If you don't have a discipline when you drive, speed, all these things, you have a problem, You have to have awareness, how to drive. That's what they will test you, writing test, driving test. And then you have to have wisdom where you are arriving, with the destinations. So you need this three training when you are driving, when you are cooking, when you are writing. All these three trainings you need in all aspects what you do for enlightenment as well. But it's called transcendental wisdom to free from samsara. We need that kind of wisdom. Having taken them all up with the bodhicitta, now this loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta together, in the system of the paramitas. Paramitas? 6 perfections. You practice the 6 parameters, 6 perfection, and dedicate the rule, the virtue to complete awakening. So you practice generosity, you practice morality, you practice patience, perseverance, samadhi, meditative concentration, wisdom, awareness. So through these 6 perfection, you practice the bodhicitta, you practice loving kindness, you practice compassion. That will enhance your practice, will enrich the practice. Your practice become powerful more. This all just bring into your heart, into your mind. Get rid of all those mental afflictions. These mental afflictions, I mentioned, they are ingrained within us for a long time. They just manifest effortlessly. You don't want to be angry. You want to be a kind person. But when some conditions meet, the anger just pops up effortlessly. You just scream and immediately you feel so bad. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Because the habit we have. We're so habituated. The habit is so ingrained within us. And we're so entangled within that. So these 6 parameters are the special method. They're designed for us to free from, to purify these all cause of the suffering. So that's what you just see how Buddha's teachings is. So you say, when I go around now, I do this for the service of Buddha. Buddha taught these so precious teachings. Buddha's message to every sentient being, as I mentioned. Anybody who's interested, there's no any bias, discrimination. Buddha said, at the time of Buddha in India, they have caste system. So the Brahmin, the 4 caste system. The last one is in what's called untouchable. They say they are not allowed to come to their community. Buddha said, Buddha transcended all this. Buddha was a great revolutionary. In my school, my system, there's no any discrimination. That time also they look down women, men super, but they gave the same opportunity. The monks and nuns, Vajrayana practitioners, all equally given teachings. When you read the prayers from Shantideva's text, chapter 10, do you recall? May all women born as a man. Have you heard of that? Somebody asked me, why you discriminate that? I said, you have confused, I said. At that time, there's a lot of that discrimination. And the great Bodhisattvas, they cannot bear this. So that's why they said all the women who are getting this kind of, abuse, saying prayers, they may be born as a human, a man, It's not that they're looking down on the woman, but they see the suffering of the woman and say prayers, may they born as a man, You see. Sometimes we think this is discriminating, Even Bodhisattvas, they're discriminating. Why, Without correct understanding.
And have more power, more physical ability
Yeah.
to get things
Yeah,
done.
yes.
People believe in them sometimes than they do a woman. And so I can see why, I've studied that too, to wonder why there aren't more women in the practice. It looks like a conclave, of men, the same, and you see in the Buddhist practices with the red hats and the yellow hats, it's
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. It's all just a name,
Why are there more women in there? And I'm thinking
Yeah.
because it's hard for women to get that.
Yeah. So Buddha gave that all,
Respect, I don't know.
Yes, Buddha gave all opportunity, you see. So now I just say, women just should come up, practice more bodhicitta, loving kindness, and show the courage, you know. Okay. Instead of just complaining, you know. It makes sense. It's more action, you know. Because in my life, I met a woman. Have you heard of Kunu Rinpoche? Kunu Lama Rinpoche. Kunu Rinpoche. I met him quite a few times. He is a disciple, a nun from Drikung, in a place, Drikung area. It's called Drikung Kanto. She was so powerful. And everybody respects her. When the monks are not behaving well, you know, not wearing robe, good way, you know, they just call, how you can behave like this? The monks totally subdued. So like that, when you have the ability, everybody respects. When she goes around, when she goes around, the monks are there, you know, seeing behind her, they all behave so well, you know. Because they are afraid she will say something, you know. Because she herself, 100% dedicated to Dharma. Dharma practice. She totally dedicated her life and practiced the Dharma. Also with dedication, she said, in the system of the mantras, in the system of the Tantra, Vajrayana, you practice the generation and completion stage and then dedicate. You understand that? The generation stage and completion stage in the Vajrayana. You know? So with this, based on this loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, with this mind, you manifest yourself as the deity. Any Dara, Chandresic, whatever you have, arise yourself. That's called generation. You generate yourself. It's a purification, inseparable of the emptiness and appearance. Then completion stage, you chant mantra, purify yourself, practice the 6 years of Narupa, so forth, and dissolve into emptiness. It's Vajrayana. But bodhicitta is the, what you call, you know, what there's one special word, very nice word. Anyway, you generate yourself as the like Teresic Dara within the state of the bodhicitta. Your whole being within the bodhicitta, you manifest into the deity. No. Yeah. Because without bodhicitta, your practice will not cause to attain enlightenment. So bodhicitta is still the life, the backbone. It's the cornerstone of the Buddha's teaching, the backbone of the Buddha's teaching. You practice the generation completion stage and then dedicates. There's nothing that is not included in the great vehicles with this Sudra system and Vajrayana. All the Buddha's teachings are within this dimension. All is to purify the mind. Mhm. Would you like some short break? Okay. Banga Sato Samaya, Mano Palaya, Bandra Sato Tenopa, Tita Teto Membawa, Sudu Kayo Subu Kayo Membawa, Anorato Membawa, Sarva Siti Mepraya, Sarva Karmasu. Sudam Shriya Kuru Hum, Ha 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 Ha. Sarva Tata Tata Badra Mamim, Zambanzi, Ma Sanaya Sadu.
Happy birthday, Omar.
Oh.
Happy birthday.
So just express my gratitude. Say thank you. Now they understand. Yes. So I say thank you so much. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
And I'm wondering if everything is impermanent, how can be there?
Because of impermanent, you can get there. That's a deal, yes.
Online, but they're waiting.
They're waiting.
They're waiting.
Yeah, go ahead, wait. Waiting for what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
How it feels to be 80.
Huh?
How does it feel to be 79?
Well, 80 is the best.
Tibetan, 80. Yeah. In Tibetan, 80. In Western, still 79. Yeah.
I'm the you're the daughter.
How do you feel now?
I feel now, I feel normal.
One Zoom person online is asking how to practice when you're in physical pain. This person has a knee.
Pain,
Yes, physical pain.
physical pain.
Yes. How can one practice with that? Or is patience the only practice that there is for pain?
Yeah, first practice patience. When you have physical pain, no choice. No, there's a pain. And you cannot ignore it. It's there. So practice the patience. Just tolerate, bear the pain. Bear the pain. Then just it's the fruition of the karma. There's something that I've created. It's now manifesting. So I'm so grateful. This karma is purifying. I'm so happy about it. And then you develop compassion to all others who has that kind of pain. As I have pain, but I have the Dharma, wisdom of the Buddha, helped me to bear, to practice the patience. There are a lot of people who don't have that. They cannot bear. They always complain about it. No, that doesn't solve the problem. No. So if you bear, so I'm purifying my karma, and this may help me to purify all the negative karmas that I have created. No. So I'm so grateful. I have Buddha's wisdom and develop compassion to all others who are suffering. No. There's so many who are worse than me. No. Just meditate. No. Practice that. And then because of this, in the samsara, we have pain. Everybody has pain. Sooner or later, there's a pain. So because of this, Dharma teachings, Dharma practice is indispensable to free from this kind of pain. So practice of loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, and everything is just a manifestation. Everything is just come and go. Everything is just illusory nature. But we have a pain within the illusion. And who realizes the illusion, the pain is illusory nature. And if you see it as something real, substantial, the pain is real, substantial. No? So that's why the mind's body, when you're touched by the wisdom of Buddha, you see everything's just manifestation, just illusory nature. Then you can see, you can experience your pain is illusory nature. Still there's a pain, but you are not so intolerable. You can tolerate, you can bear, you know. And then see like that, you have a lot of progress you can make. You know, if you have a nerve, if you have dedication, you can practice Dharma so much. So do you see Dharma is such a precious. Dharma is the source of all the wisdom, first of all. You know, and Dharma is a source of courage. You can get courage for the Dharma. Dharma is a source of compassion. Okay? And Dharma is a source of peace. So Dharma is the wisdom of the Buddha.
Another question from Zoom. This morning you said Milarepa has said, in the mountain I practice Dharma persistently. I captured the fortress of the changeless nature,
Unchanging nature.
unchanging nature of mind.
Yes.
Or changeless, okay, so the unchanging nature of mind, or the changeless nature of death.
Yeah, changeless nature.
Of mind.
Changeless nature of the mind as it is.
Another Zoom question.
Okay.
We've been talking about this all day, but the question.
Yeah, you can talk. You can talk all day, yes. There are 84,000 of 84,000 types of categories of teachings. Yes, there's so much you can talk.
This person is wondering how to feel love and appreciation for people who behave in a cruel and harmful way.
Just the people who's very cruel to you as a Dharma practitioner, and you say, I'm so grateful. You taught me such a powerful lesson, how to handle your cruelty, to practice loving kindness, compassion. You are my best teacher, a direct teacher, how to face this, Okay?
An interview with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and it was a panel of spiritual teachers of different traditions. And the question from one of the journalists was, who do you consider your most important spiritual teacher? And he said the Chinese government. Came right out like that. He didn't think about it. So that supports.
All other sentient beings, especially those.
Yes,
Enemies.
those enemies who hate me. Yeah, you see, this prayer has been for saying for centuries.
Saying the prayer is easy, but practicing it.
Oh,
Saying the prayer is easy. Right? Saying the prayer is easy.
Yes.
Actually practicing it means.
yeah, practicing is very, very important. You can say in the mouth,
Yeah.
but your mind is wandering here, there. Especially you are from the mouth, you are saying, may also administration be especially those enemies who hate me, but in the mind, this person, I'll get rid of this person. So where you are saying the prayer, bring the meaning in the heart. Go together. That happens, Even also happens to me. I say the prayer, because it's in the book, Oh, Dala Dawar Jeveda, never in the mind, that person is not good. I dislike that person, So it is this guys called, you are not walking what you're talking. Walk your talk,
Child and my husband,
Yeah.
when they leave their shoes on the floor. And I can't pick them up. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Pick up their things for you.
Yeah. That's very, very good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so for that kind of practice, any of us do that kind of practice, I guess you got to have the passive aggressiveness or make sure there's no underlining expectations or judgment.
No expectation.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we have to catch that, right? We have to
Touch.
be careful of not judging
No, not judge. There's nothing to judge. Just look, just repair your mind. Yes.
This picture I had from the New York Times, in
Oh.
the New York Times newspaper about 10 or 15 years ago. It was of an old Thangka of Buddha Shakyamuni, and he's sitting there, and there's different kinds of warriors and beasts and other things that can harm him, but nothing comes, the arrows don't hit him, they just kind of fall to the ground. And all these negative things, just the Tonka show didn't touch the Buddha.
Yes.
I think that's a really wonderful story also
Of course.
for me
Yes.
of how he was able to not have all of those forces.
Yes.
But he didn't kill anything or
No.
hurt anything,
No.
but they weren't able to hurt him either.
Yes. That's the power. This is a mission. This is the best protection.
It's just so beautiful.
Practice of love, compassion, bodhicitta is the best protection. At that moment, first use it eases your mind. Your mind is peaceful. That's the best protection you get.
To achieve.
Yeah. You need nerve, courage. Yes, it's courageous mind can do that.
So, the courage is to not turn away when we are looking at ourselves and
Yes.
seeing something.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
that keep looking.
Yeah.
Do you have advice there? Because when we look something, we see, okay, I see greed, I see anger. Then what do you do there? You see that, what do you do?
Just look at this. This is my bad manifestation. My habit is your habit is manifesting. They have, as I just mentioned, nobody wants to be bad person. No, I want to be good person. I want everybody like me. But then there comes manifesting your habit, and then you become bad person. So you don't want to be angry, but anger manifest. You see, then you see it's out of habit. We're so used to it through many lifetimes. We haven't been to school, college, how to be angry, Can you teach me how to manifest anger, We haven't been to school, See? And attachment, all these things, greeds. Can you teach me how to be greedy, But that's just a manifest through many lifetimes. That's why it takes time to get rid of it. That's why we need to change the habit, to replace the bad habit, from the good habit. That's called practice. That's called mindfulness. Here said, from Shantideva text, there's some very beautiful things there, Yes, said, first of all life, so we have good life, we have place to live, food to eat, mind is clear. So this is like a sunshine, and we have food to eat, place to live, just beautiful life, But this is just one moment. It passes, And this body is just, we borrow this body. It's not belong to us, as yesterday mentioned. When we die, we leave behind. It's not belong to us. So look at this. How I can get this again? Reflect, practice Dharma. These mental afflictions, anger, hatred, arrogance, this all. Actually, look at them. They are just nothing. They have no hands, feet, they don't have weapons, you know. They are not so smart. They are so stupid, you know. But why? They take me to the hell realm, torture me. So I'm more stupid than they are. Make sense? You see, they themselves, they are called delusion. Delusion means they have no wisdom. No. They are deluded. They are fabricated. So I'm more fabricated than they are. You know? So look at this. Oh, how I can bear this. How I can tolerate this. No. See, even the gods, demigods, they all become my enemy. They cannot throw me in the hell realm, but they can take me to the hell realm. So this enemy has been through many lifetimes. Still I feel so good about them, Protect them, You just look at yourself, how stupid I am. The human beings, in the human beings, even there are some people who are bad to you, not so good to you, but if you reply kindly, they can become our good friend. They can become our supporter. But these mental afflictions, more you cherish, they will take you more opportunity and throw you in the hell realm. So it gives us the wisdom, how to see them, how people cherish themselves in this delusion. And they try to protect all these delusions you have. I deserve this, I deserve that,
There's no.
Oh, there's no fact. That's right. They manifest just simultaneously, effortlessly. And you are a good friend of them. This is called, these are all your cronies.
Driving because I'm gonna think I have all these cronies in the back.
It's the same, you can't do anything about anyone else's cronies.
That's right. So therefore, now we make such dedication ourselves. Even I'm burned in the fire. Even my head is chopped. No matter what happened, I will never bow down. These cronies, this enemy. they are nothing but only bring the suffering. All the way to up to here, up to now. I go through all the suffering because of them. And without my understanding, without the wisdom, I just, as we discuss, they're just with me, like a shadow, just following me. But now I know, because of the Buddha's wisdom, I distinguish what's right, what's wrong. Now from today, I will never give chance to them. So seeing this way, you see, that's why you just again reflect to Buddha. This is what Buddha taught. I'm so fortunate to contact with the Buddha's teaching, the wisdom. Any from Zoom?
I'll spur them on.
Mhm.
You do that. Spur them on.
There's so much, but we read this. Then, since this sequence of instruction is extremely profound, I have not written it down. Please practice in accordance with these words with great diligence. So this is have not written down before. This is what says, now he's here. So please read it, take it, and practice diligently. So this is very profound, precious. But this root of virtue and the virtues collected in the three times by me, an entirety of samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attained, unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious bodhi enlightenment. Yes.
Right there. The root of virtue is mentioned frequently. I don't really understand the root of virtue.
All the virtues are root. Okay. Basically, all the virtues are root. If you first cultivate loving kindness, compassion, so may all sentient beings have all the happiness, peace. May all sentient beings are free from suffering. That you have created the virtue. That's the root of virtue. And may they may they achieve enlightenment, the Buddhahood. If you practice that, meditate on this, bring into your heart this root virtue. it becomes root virtue, it becomes root, a cause for peace and happiness. That's what's called. Okay.
It's the innate virtue.
Innate root virtue is your Buddha nature. It's inborn, called innate. Your Buddha nature is the virtue of all. That's the, what you call, all the virtues that are collected in the past, present, future, it has collected. You created through the practice. But innate root virtue is just there. Innately. No. That is the, we should say, capital to you to how you can become Buddha. When you have capital to do business, so this is, I have this capital, this much I have to do business. You see, from there, then you do the business and make money, So all the making money you have because of you have the capital. So capital is what you got, what you say is the main one. You see. So the innate virtue is your capital. Okay, Buddha nature. Then from there, you do the business. Okay, avoiding all the non-virtues and collecting all the virtues. Then what through that, adventitious obscuration, you just dispel all the adventitious obscurations. While you are dispelling, getting rid of adventitious obscurations, then your mind becomes more clear. Everything makes more sense. Understand, you see. Those who have so much adventitious obscurations, when you talk Dharma, it doesn't make sense. Because this is very powerful adventitious obscurations. So that's why accumulate virtue, accumulate merit, practice the two accumulations, you see. This is the way how to discard all these temporary obscurations. They're different people, Even though the Buddha nature, we have, everybody have equally, no one Buddha nature is better than others. All are equal, but depending to the adventitious obscurations. Some are more kind of interested, Some, when you talk karma, dharma, doesn't make much sense. You see, so that's where the innate virtue is the capital we have. Then all the collected virtues are to support. Like say the ocean, the ocean itself is innate virtue. And all the waves of the ocean is accumulated virtue. Yes.
I have the opportunity to have my 12-year-old grandson and my 14-year-old granddaughter in the car with me for about 45 minutes.
Okay.
And so I have their attention while they're on the phone, so I can have their attention. What is a story that I could give them that would get them interested in the Dharma? My 14-year-old now, it's very in to be Christian. So she's into that, I'm okay with that, that's a positive
It's
thing.
okay.
But if I want her to turn towards the Dharma, I want my grandchildren, my children to.
Yeah, that is your responsibility.
I really want that, so story, I've talked to them a little bit, but I'm not very skillful. What story could I tell them that might get them like enthused in the Dharma?
You can tell some beautiful stories of Buddha's life.
Like when he was a fish,
No?
when he was a fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when it was fish, And then says, one time when Buddha was not a Buddha, he was Siddhartha, young age boy. You have heard of Devadatta?
Yes. His cousin.
His cousin, Devadatta. One time they were going together, and a goose, a geese is flying,
Yeah.
and Devadatta shoot an arrow to a goose, and just fall down on the ground. And Siddhartha went to the goose and took off the arrow, and then fed. The goose was not dead, and then he brought on his shoulder, feeding. And then Devadatta rushed in, said, "This is mine." And Siddhartha said, "No, it's not yours, this is mine." And then Devadatta said, "Yes, it is mine. I shoot," and just brought down on the ground. Siddhartha said, "No, those who are taking the life, it's not yours. You are taking their life, so this is not belong to you, because you are taking the life of the goose. Those who are protecting the life is theirs. So it's mine because I'm protecting." It's a beautiful story, You see, so like that kind of like a lot of stories like that. And then when you go further, and Buddha said, "I have cultivated all sentient beings to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment. Every sentient beings are within the sphere of the bodhicitta." That means every sentient beings are Buddhas, and is under the Buddha's compassion. I have cultivated mind to free all sentient beings from samsara, because I am the master of all the sentient beings. And sentient beings are under my bodhicitta's protection. This is when we go further, But this maybe other people maybe cannot accept, cannot get it. But the story that the goes, like these things. Yes,
Can you explain store consciousness?
store consciousness.
Yes, what takes our virtue and other abilities into the future of other.
That's what's called, that's I mentioned, the habit. Your all habits are stored in the store consciousness. Alaya. There are different explanations on that. Anyway, it's as something like to understand of you have a store. In the storage, you have all the collections, things in that storage, So all the different karmas that we have created are stored in that alaya, the stored consciousness. So then they're manifesting one after another, So it depends what kind of you have stored. Lot of negative karma or good karma, you know. If you have stored many negative karmas, then suffering comes one after another, you know, manifesting from there. If you have stored a lot of virtuous karma, then just peace and happiness coming one after another from that store.
Is there a connection with that store with the fourth aggregate?
Mm.
Is there a
Or
connection, the fourth aggregate, mental formations? Is there a?
no,
connection with that store?
Yeah, that is
Different?
no, not totally different. But see, you mean the fourth? Yeah, the fourth is creating all the karma.
Yeah.
It's called duche in Tibetan. Duche means is the producer of the karma. No, there's from all the mental afflictions. Mental affliction not necessarily all a bad thing. There's sometimes there's called sakchekawa. It's called afflicted virtue. No, afflicted non-virtues. So within the sphere of the dimension of the unenlightened mind, everybody has loving kindness. Everybody has compassion, more or less, as I mentioned, even bird has, even the insect has. That brings the peace for them, happiness for them, see. But it is within the unenlightened mind, So there's the fourth.
The alaya consciousness is that conventional consciousness? Because if one is enlightened, then there is no good or bad karma anymore to progress into a new life.
That becomes consciousness, that becomes the mirror-like wisdom.
When it's transformed.
Yeah, when you are enlightened, then it becomes we call transforms into the mirror-like wisdom.
But as a conventional person, I want to accumulate
Yes.
good karma because it's being stored.
Yes, it's stored there. Yes.
To be not reborn again, to have not a physical body next time when we die,
Yeah.
to not have a physical body next time, so that are we more helpful to sentient beings without that?
How you can do that? First,
I don't know.
yeah, that's what see. It's not enough. Say, I don't want to reborn. I don't want to reborn. It's awful,
Yeah.
You can say that, but ask how you can do that.
I can think it was just Dharma.
That's it.
Die with a good mind.
That's right. See, that's the point. Yes, that's not so simple, isn't it?
It's simple, but it's hard to do.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to do. Simple.
Nagarjuna said, "Let on yomo seven parts. When you liberate, when the exhaustion of the afflictive emotions and karma, when the afflictive emotions and karmas are exhausted, then you are liberated. So now how to do that? How to exhaust? You see, how you can exhaust your attachment, aversion, arrogance. Yeah, see, see now you should you just contemplate on that. There's some work, isn't it? Some work to do.
Good meditation.
Yeah. Yeah, it requires a lot of, that's why I said Dharma is so profound, because our mind is so complicated. And that makes it difficult to understand. Sometimes say, teach me, there's some simple thing. I don't like all this complicated practice. But our mind itself is complicated. You know, just to comprehend the complicated the mind, we need a complicated Dharma practice. But,
Is that right here, right now?
for individuals, you can say yes, but in our, we as here now, psychologically, you can say this human life has the 6 realms. Sometimes your mental emotions are so negative, like the, what do you call it? Depression. Is there any other worse than depression?
Discouraged.
Not just discouragement. It's so, your mind is your mind is disappeared, and you become hopeless, you know, you become suicidal, you know, then you think there's no hope. It's like a hell realm. You see, it's so painful mentally. Now I have no hope. What should I do? Nothing. It's like hell realm. It tortures you totally, you know. So that's a hell realm. Other time you feel so good. You know, the weather is so beautiful. Your families are so good, respect you, they love you. And then you say, you go to out or in the house, says there's no problem. It's so good. It's God realm. You see. And sometimes you feel so stingy. Even though you have a lot of, you know, if you have enough, so much, but you feel so stingy, so I cannot give even penny to others. It's a Holy Ghost. You see, that's Holy Ghost. And sometimes you feel so stupid. I don't know what I'm doing, you know. It doesn't make sense. You know, like say you sit there and practice Dharma, you know. I'm doing what I'm doing here. Why I'm sitting here. Doesn't make sense. No, that kind of, you see, it's so stupid. It's animal realm, you know. Sometimes you're so jealous. So some people whom you don't like, they're more successful, and you're so jealous. Why they deserve this? They don't deserve this, you know. It's demigod.
Yeah.
You see.
It's terrible destruction and war. Does that mean that?
Then yes, mission dialogue, then there's now that there's war, you know. They're throwing bombs and the hell run, you know. So this is really hell run, you know. There's no worse than that kind of hell run, you know. Yeah, you see. So karma is mentioned, is inexpressible. That all karma is made from our mind. No, when you see such a hatred, even you have no fear, doubt to kill other, So if somebody who you don't like at all, whether you kill or somebody kills, you totally rejoice. Yes, that person deserve that, because your expressions are anger, you know. So you are creating the hell, that way. That's why we have to take care of our mind. So that's as mentioned, my mind is my responsibility. Nobody can take care of my mind. I alone is responsible. That's why we need Dharma. Study, practice. Even we as the Dharma practitioners, still not so good, While you are practicing Dharma, we fight. you know?
So, we as human beings can work with our karma. How do animals, insects,
Yes,
fish,
yes.
how do they evolve?
Yes, you see, that's why you see, if you read the Bodhidharma Avatara, they're mentioned. That's what we call precious human life.
Right.
Okay? That's what we should admire. We should understand that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the animals, as I mentioned this morning, precious human life, a dog, such a smart dog. You tell the dog, you are a dog, better practice Dharma. Have no idea what you're talking about.
How do we help them?
So you say, first you practice Dharma.
Just doing our thing.
Yes, first you practice your bodhicitta.
Okay.
Your bodhicitta, okay.
Okay.
And then you advance. And then this morning we mentioned the relative bodhicitta, absolute bodhicitta together. You practice that, and then you discard all your mental delusions totally. And as mentioned, Milarepa could communicate with the dogs and deer, like that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. So it's just,
Dog whisperer now. Dog whisperer. Or horse or animal.
well, any ants, animals, and your cockroaches in the kitchen. Okay. Yeah, you teach your cockroaches in the kitchen.
Scorpion from this house in a jar,
Mhm.
and that was this morning
Mhm.
before I left. Walked out to not kill him,
Mhm.
and
That's it. That's it.
and
That's
he
big.
sometimes gets upset with my Buddhist flags,
Mhm.
but he's acting a little bit like a Buddhist.
Oh, good. Yeah. He knows you're Buddhist. How you are doing now? We are doing good? Okay. How much you got? How much you got today? You got some today? Yeah. You got plenty? Yeah, sure, tomorrow. Okay, first please relax. Relax your body, mind here in this place, and you totally rejoice that today we went through step by step and just see how Buddha's wisdom is. These are not just something showing magics, powers, But this is a way how to apply your mind in your daily life. How to comprehend our delusions, purify, how to increase or appreciate your mind with love, compassion, bodhicitta, with the wisdom, skillful means, and appreciate, and to bring into your heart, into your being, how to involve yourself within that. Meditate, see. This is called Buddha's teaching, Buddha's wisdom. In the both relative state and absolute state. Then today, just reflect what we went through step by step and what kind of wisdom you got. You see how you enhance your practice or reinforcing your practice. Reflect on this and appreciate, rejoice. And meditate. This Dharma teaching is not only for me, but for all the sentient beings. My practice of bodhicitta, I will share this to all others while I'm practicing. And with this, we do a dedication prayer.